Hi and welcome to this video. So we're going to be going over my yearly goals. I know this video is out late, it's already February, but I thought better late than never. I'm not putting too much pressure on myself this year to get stuff done just because I know that my mental health is at risk when I do that. And yes, while I get lots of things done when I give myself deadlines and put pressure on myself, it's just not good at this point in time. I have two young children and at this point they don't like to sleep. And when I used to get lots done, I would work in their nap time, but since nap time is non-existent these days, I just have to work around it. So today, for example, I have a few hours to myself, so I'm just pumping out as much content and videos as I can, and we'll go from there. So I have my cork board here because this is what I would always have my yearly goals on, and I just want to go over basically what I had on here for the past year and see if I haven't done any of the stuff yet and if I can add it into this year's goals and some new goals maybe that I have to do with writing and videos and magazine content. So last year, I kind of wanted to make a lot of money, and that was my goal for this year. Well, to make enough money to live off. So I think I was reaching a bit high and I did not make that goal, and now I've had to go and get a job. But with that being said, I did make more money last year than I had before. So my goal is to just keep increasing that income until I get to a point where I can make enough money to live off. But the thing with that is that books alone, I don't think anytime soon are going to make me enough money to live off. So I need to do other things like Patreon, which I enjoy, and I have a Patreon account, some affiliate marketing and things like that. So the reason that I don't think my books will make me enough income in the near future is because I don't have enough time to write enough books as quickly as I need to make money. And I know that writing in series helps, so I'm writing 2 series at the moment, and I did put my last book out in October, and I was kind of hoping to put out the next book in March, but March is next month and I'm probably about a quarter way through the book. I think I have about 17,000 words at the moment, and then I want to put out another book in about October. So at this point, I think I'll be lucky to put out 1 book by October, which will be a year between releasing a book. And I just have to be okay with that because I have small kids and I don't have a lot of time. But I'm dropping down to 2 days rather than 4 days work. And so I'm hoping that I'll figure something out, and I'm going to do a lot of scheduling and sit down and organizing and figure out what I can do, set plans. I never know what day I'm going to be able to have time. So say if my kids happen to nap one day, I'm like, oh, quick, get as much done as I can. But if I don't have a set plan of what I need to do, I'm just kind of sitting there twiddling my thumbs, and like I might film a video, but then I have all this other stuff I need to do, but I just don't do it. So I need to sit down and figure out what exactly I need to do, figure that out so that I have set things to do on those days. And I want to just film a bunch of content and take a bunch of photos and have a scheduled thing that like just post them out on different days, and I'm just not having to really do anything. So if anyone knows of websites like that that can do that, please comment down below. So I've just done a bunch of rambling, so let's get into the actual goals. So let's see what goals I set for last year. Did I achieve them? And what I'm moving to this year. These checklist papers I got from Sarah Cannon. She has them somewhere. I don't know if it was free or if I got them in one of her courses or something, but she has them as quarterly goals. I changed them to yearly goals because, being realistic, I don't get much done in 3 months. So my checklist for 2021, segregated it into writing, YouTube, Patreon, and courses. So let's see, I had a goal to write as often as possible. Even if I only got a few words out, it's better than nothing. So I still do that, and I did that. So I ticked those off. So I put here, so it's a yearly goal, but I have first quarter, second quarter, third quarter. There's 4 quarters, but just put 3. So I wanted to get Unbreakable out, which I did in October. Get my merch drop out, first drop, which I did. Have a second or third drop ready, which I did. And in the second quarter for writing, I had focus on beta reviews and marketing, which I did. Write Natural Born Killers, which I did not do. I had a new baby at this point, so I said to be kind on myself and not push myself too hard. And I actually did write a fair amount of Natural Born Killers, but then I put it aside to write Unbreakable Part 2 because I just felt that's where my passion was. So I have to build a good beta list and get reviews on Goodreads, and I did that. So third quarter, try to get Natural Born Killers out. That did not happen, obviously. It's still not written. Attend some book fairs and markets. So COVID happened, and that is still not really an option. They're kind of opening up again. I'd like to do that this year, but again, I don't know how that's going to pan out the way the world's going at the moment. So we'll just see what happens there. So next goal was YouTube. Put out regular content and get better at editing. So with editing, I've kind of just not really worried about that at the moment because that is kind of the last thing on my list. Like, I know how to edit and I edit my videos well enough. So I think for now that can just stay. And when I get monetized, which I'm so close, I'll put more work into actually editing, or maybe hire someone to edit my videos for me. So regular content, I have been consistent with that. It's a bit like all over the place. I tried to put a video out a week, but it's been more like a video every 2 weeks, which is okay. Still getting videos out. Pass monetization and get 3,000 subscribers. Still not done. I think I have 1,300 subscribers and almost past monetization, almost there. If you'd like to help me out, please go check out my longest videos playlist. I'll link it here to go and just play that, and it will help me out a lot. Thank you in advance if you do that. Get a good following and more comments, which that has happened. So next goal is Patreon. I wanted to grow Patreon to 25 to 30 people. That did definitely not happen. I've had people come and go. I've had consistently about 3 people on my Patreon, and then it's gone up and down, up and down. And while that doesn't sound like a lot, it's actually helped me a lot with my income. So each person pays about, on the tiers that they're on, I want to say like about $10. So I'm getting about $30 a month USD, which is more when it comes in as Australian dollars for me. So that's awesome. But I'm always looking to get more people, and I do believe I have quality content on there. And that's an area I want to focus on more. I want to learn more about Patreon and how to market to people about my Patreon account as well, and how to provide quality content. So put up regular engaging content on Patreon and release the writing course, which I did. Yay, I managed to get that out. I wanted to do lives on Patreon when I had more people, which I still don't, so yeah. Also had an other goals category, which was to improve my website and focus on email list, which I'm proud to say I have been doing. Spend more time working on social media and Instagram, make it worthy and engaging content, which I have been doing. Yeah, I'm still working on that though. Okay, so that is last year's goals. So what I want to do for this year's goals is to just basically get at least 1 book out. I would love to get book 2 out of both Natural Born Killers, the Killers Amongst Us series, and the Unbreakable series. I plan to have 3 books in the Unbreakable series at this point, and the Killers Amongst Us series, I think 2, but possibly 3. I might do like a next gen sort of thing with that. I might do the same thing for Unbreakable, but I also have a lot of books that I want to write, and I just can't write them fast enough. That's my goal for books, is to just focus on doing that, at least get 1 book out, and I will be happy. I think having 1 year between book releases isn't that bad. And I feel like there's a lot of pressure on indie authors to rapid release, because that's how we draw people in. People like series. Whereas if you're traditionally published, I feel like there's not as much pressure. And Traditionally published authors often have years between releases and no one seems to really care. So I don't know why that stigma is there. But I think a year is fine as long as I'm making sure to engage people regularly on other platforms to keep them remembering about me, like my newsletter, my YouTube channel and Patreon and Instagram, just like keeping people updated with my writing and letting them know that I am still writing and I am still there, so that they keep engaged in between those book releases. So my next goal is to get monetized on YouTube. I really want this to become an income stream. I need it to at this point. Like, I need to be building up my income streams so that I can just get a steady income from my writing and I can spend more time in it and I can make it a full-time thing. Because if I'm making enough money and this is my sole income, I can spend the money to maybe get a nanny or a babysitter for the kids or do something so that I have more time to write. Whereas now that's just not a luxury I have. It's just like a hobby thing right now, which I want it to become my full income. So there's that. So what have I covered? Books and YouTube. So Instagram, I really want this year to put a lot of focus on building up my Instagram account and making it quality content. I want it to be a place that people come when they've watched my YouTube videos and they want to know what I'm doing day to day, when they're in between reading my books and they want to know where I'm at with my writing. So I want it to be a place where people come and they can keep up with me and see what I'm doing and I can update people. So I really want to do that. And Patreon, I really want Patreon to be another income stream and somewhere that I can have people coming to and get it to a point where it can be like a safe place, or where I can do videos that are just for Patreon members and give them perks and early reader copies of my books and things like that. I would love to get back into the journalism side of my career. And I have studied a diploma in journalism, for those of you that don't know, and I want to keep that open as an option. So I need to keep my writing fresh and up to date and not have massive gaps between my journalism work, because while I've been writing, I haven't been working on my magazine per se or putting out content. So there was a while there where I was writing articles for people, like ghostwriting, and getting paid for that. And I kind of want to start doing that again, even if it's here and there, because I need to get articles out there. And I was also writing articles and not getting paid for it, but submitting them to magazines and getting my name out there that way. Because if there comes a point where I decide to go and work in journalism, which there probably will be, especially if my writing books takes a while to take off, then I would really like to have something to display that's not years old. And I'm thinking, like, when the kids go to school, if my book writing hasn't taken off and is at a point where I can live off it, that I will go and work in journalism. So that is something that I need to keep up to date. Now, on that note, my magazine, while I'm not consistently putting content out in the magazine per se, I want to keep that going. So right now I teach people how to make magazines, and I stay in contact with brands and with PR companies to have them on my contact list, and they still send me things to review and options to review things. And I share those contacts with my Patreon people. So make sure you go over to my Patreon if you'd like those contacts. And I would like to start getting back into that. Not as heavily as I was before. Like before, I was just so on top of it. Like I was putting out magazines and putting out books and just doing so much stuff when I was pregnant with my first child and when he was little. And then it just became all too much, and something had to give, and I really wanted to put a focus on my writing. So I want there to be a point where I make Winter Publishing a thing. So Winter Publishing is my publishing company. I'd like to have an office one day where I work there full time and I write my books, and maybe I publish other people's books and I work on the magazine there, and the magazine falls under Winter Publishing too. So maybe it covers my journalism work too, and I work under that. So that is a goal that I want to have. So this video sounds like it's becoming just like my life goals, but something I want to do. So another goal I want to have to do, and I don't know if I'm going to have time to do this, but this year or next year, I want to traditionally publish a book. I believe that this will open up my book pathway. So basically why I want to do this, it's not that I want to become a traditionally published author per se for the future. I still like having my book self-published, but maybe I want to become a hybrid author, or maybe I want to use it as a way to get my book into physical bookstores and get a big paycheck that allows me to write. So even if I get a small paycheck, say $1,000 or $500, I feel like the other benefits make it worth it too, and it's a nice little paycheck. It's like a week's pay. Yeah, I feel like if I had a book in bookstores, people would find it more, and then they'd look for my other books, which are self-published, and then I'd make all the money from those books. So that is something I really want to do, but I don't really know how to go about finding an agent or uploading a manuscript somewhere, because I've uploaded manuscripts in the past and then I ended up self-publishing them, and I feel like I can't just write a whole book and then just sit on it for years, because it can take years to get traditionally published. And I feel like if I did that, I'd just be so tempted to self-publish it, because otherwise I just have like years between self-publishing books, and then I'm not making money in that time, and like it's just a big risk factor for me. So I don't know if like I can self-publish a book and then also submit it to a traditional publisher and then pull it if they like it. Is that something you're allowed to do? Please comment down below if anyone knows. But yeah, so they're basically my goals. I don't think I'm going to get them all done this year, but fingers crossed, you never know. I'm going to try my hardest with the time that I have. I don't have a lot of time, but yeah, I'm going to try to put out 1 to 2 books this year. I'm going to consistently post on YouTube and hope that I get monetized. And I'm going to try and do those other points and see where I get. The point is, like I said, to just stay relevant and increase my income. I don't want to go backwards. So yeah, thank you for watching this long and rambled video. I've filmed about 3 videos today in this time that I have kidless. We'll see when I can get these out, but thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe, check out my Patreon below, like the video, comment if you have any suggestions on any of the things that I've said, and I will see you guys in my next video.